Can you guys see my screen? We'll be using Onshape. So if you haven't made an account yet, you can start doing it right now while we're waiting for more people to join. Why do we make one? Electrical engineer, you should have a basic grasp of how to make 3D models, because like let's say you're making an like you're making a circuit board, you'd want to make a circuit board housing, and to do that you would use a software like Onshape or SolidWorks or Fusion. So it's useful for all engineering disciplines. It doesn't have to be students, but you can you can write something else if you want. Okay, we'll be starting soon. I hope everyone's ready. If you haven't made an account, I can still give more time after the presentation. There will be some time for you to make an account. The presentation will be short. Will I be able to follow even if I don't attend for 30 minutes? Probably not, but it's it's fine. It's fine. You can look at the recording after. Okay, I think we can start right now. I'd like this session to be interactive, so I'll be asking a lot of questions, and I'd expect you guys to interact with me in the chat. I have the chat opened on my second screen, so I'll be able to see your questions real time. The recording will be on the IG channel, the official channel of the server. You guys see the presentation? Okay. Okay. Let's start. I hope everyone's having a good day. So my name is Mohammed Amran. I'm a first year mechanical engineering student. I'll be entering my second year this fall. I'm CSWA certified, which is a certification for using SolidWorks, which is another CAD software. So this is my email if you want to contact me. You can also send me a message on Discord, and this is my LinkedIn. So I hope this session, I hope you learn a lot from this session. Let's get into it. Okay. So has anyone heard of CAD before? Has anyone used CAD? Has anyone heard of it? You've only heard of CAD? Arpan has used CAD. You've only heard of CAD. You've used Blender. You're not late. You're not late. Don't worry about it. First time hearing about CAD. Wait. So first of all, let me ask you guys: who wants to pursue engineering in university? If you want to pursue engineering, tell me what type of engineering you want to do. Mechanical or electrical? Electrical, aerospace, mechanical, nuclear, biomedical, mechanical. So most of you guys are mechanical, aerospace. You want to get into interior design. Yeah, interior design, it does count because I think in interior design, you'll be using a lot of AutoCAD, which is another CAD software to make 2D drawings. Civil, comp. Okay, so CAD, it's useful to like all engineering disciplines. I think all engineering disciplines use a form of CAD. So basically what CAD is, CAD stands for computer aided design. So you're using a computer to design something. So before, like back in the day, people used to make drawings, and then like let's say they draw a part and they send it to the manufacturing line. But now with computers, you can design the part in your computer. So you can make 2D or 3D technical drawings and models. So CAD is not always 3D. It can also be a 2D drawing. It's used across all engineering disciplines, and it turns engineering ideas into manufacturable models. So you have an idea in your mind, you make a CAD model of it, and then you can send it to the manufacturing team, so they can use the correct manufacturing process to make that part. Okay, so now we'll get into the popular CAD software. So some of you guys, you said you want to pursue electrical engineering. In electrical engineering, you'll be using Altium Designer, KiCad. You'll also be using like softwares like Onshape, and there's a lot of overlap between different engineering disciplines, because these Altium Designer and KiCad, they're softwares to make circuit boards. But to make circuit board housings and other components, you'd want to use some of these softwares. KiCad, it's I think it's open source. You create circuits in KiCad. You create a circuit design, and then you can print a PCB. And in architecture and drafting, this can also include civil engineering. Someone said interior design. You'll be using a lot of AutoCAD and Revit. So have you guys heard of any of these softwares before? Which ones? Which ones have you heard of? Have you used any? You've tried AutoCAD before? AutoCAD and Revit, okay. Heard of all of them. KiCad, owned by KDE. I don't know who KDE is. You've used Tinkercad. Tinkercad is a good one. Nice. Okay. So some of you guys have some experience in CAD, as I'm seeing. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we get into CAD applications. So one of the main objectives of this workshop is to give you guys a pipeline into 3D printing. So I know. Have you guys seen the MIT Maker portfolios on YouTube? Yeah. So I bet you guys you look at those portfolios and then you see people making some crazy stuff in high school, right? Okay, it shattered your ego. It shattered my ego too. Don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, these guys, they're not aliens. They're humans like us. It's just that they got exposure to the right tools and they found a right entry point. Uh, their environment helped them like create the stuff that they did. So what I'm gonna tell you guys is that you can make impressive stuff too, right? So if you get really good at CAD design, and you can use you can like everything is online. If you get good at CAD, you can start 3D printing and you can start having really impressive projects early on. So CAD applications, 3D printing, using the model in simulations, CFD. CFD stands for Complete Computational Fluid Dynamics. So as you can see, this is an F1 car, and this is the visualization of the wind passing through the F1 car. This is Altium Designer. It's for all the electrical engineers. They use it to design circuit boards. And this image is of AutoCAD. And this is like the floor plan of a hotel or something. These were made in SolidWorks. I made these. So this is just a pressure analysis of a fixed wing UAV I was working on. And this is the actual model. Okay, so now we get into the theory part. So this might not make a lot of sense right now, but I'll get into Onshape and I'll explain these like more deeply. So when you're doing CAD, you have things called geometric constraints. So you will be constraining the geometry of the sketch. I'll show you what a sketch is when we get into the software, so that it conforms to what you want it to. So there's most of these are self-explanatory for the name, like coincident locks two or more points to the exact same location, parallel forces two or more lines to remain equidistant, perpendicular, tangent, concentric. Concentric just means two circles which share the same center, collinear, horizontal/vertical. So this might not make a lot of sense right now, but when we get into the software, I'll explain it. Okay, so now we get into the fun part. Actually modeling something. So right now, before we get into the modeling session where we model a part together, I'd just like to explain the geometric constraints more. Okay. Okay, so let's say we want to draw a circle. So I created a sketch and I want to draw a circle. So now I drew a circle, it's right here. So now when the circle is blue, it means it's not constrained. It means it's free to move around. It doesn't have enough information to be fully constrained. So our goal is to fully constrain the sketch. So in CAD design, you'd basically, the process is just creating sketches and then performing actions on them, like extruding them. This might not be very clear right now, but I'm just going to explain the concept of constraining things. So here in the sketch window, you have the option to show constraints. It's usually turned off, but right now it's turned on. I turned it on. So this circle, none of its geometry is defined. So No, you don't follow along on this part. Just listen. Just listen on this part. So first of we have to constrain the circle. We have to fully define the circle. So one of the ways we can do this is the origin. It's there on every single Onshape document. You'll have an origin point, the point where it's like the center of the model. So one of the constraints we can do on the circle is we can take its center and we can fix it on the origin. So you see a symbol popped up. This symbol is the coincident constraint. So now the center of the circle is coincident with the origin of the plane, right? But the circle is still not fully defined. You can still change its diameter. You can still pull it out. As I said, the sketch will still be blue if it's not fully constrained. And to fully constrain it, we'll have to add a dimensional constraint, which is telling the circle you have to be this size. So this is the dimensional constraint. So let's say I set the circle to 50 mm. So now it's fully black. That means everything is fully constrained. You can't move it around. The sketch has enough information to exist. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Could you repeat the explanation? I can't hear you. What's this event teaching how to use CAD? If it doesn't make too much sense, I mean, that's fine. You will get it because this is your first time getting into CAD. What if you want to move it? How do you remove the constraints? Okay, good question, good question. Okay, so let me just, okay. So if you want to remove the constraints, you just click on, like, let's say the dimensional constraint and press delete. That deletes the constraint. You could press on this and then press delete, and then it goes away. So now the shape is unconstrained again. Yeah, the constraints, they lock the shapes. So what you want to do is you want to lock each shape. You want every shape to be black. Black means it's fully constrained. Define spatial dimensions for the product we're designing, or is it for the dimensions of the product itself? What do you mean by spatial dimensions? It is to define the dimensions of the product. Because when you're creating a product, you should know what dimensions you're creating it for. Why do you need to constrain it? If you don't fully constrain it, you don't know what you're designing. So first you have to have a clear idea of what you're making. Like, let's say I want to make a bracket and I want this bracket to be 2 cm long. So I'll constrain it to be 2 cm long, right? The units here are mm, yes. Mm is usually the standard for CAD software. Can you change the units? Yes, you can change the units, but I'd recommend staying at mm because that's like the industry standard. I think default Onshape is inches. I'm not fully sure. Could you give all the standard units? I don't know what you mean by that. So let me show you another example of constraints. Okay. Okay. So let's say we have a line right here, and we have another line right there. So one way to constrain is you can drag this point, and then you can fix it on the other line. You see, when I hover over the other line, a constraint, a square with what constraint that will be applied shows up. So this is a coincident constraint, and now these two points are coincident. They're constrained against each other, right? I can also select these two lines. If I select them, and then I go here to the perpendicular constraint, it constrains these two lines to be perpendicular. So now, no matter how much I move the lines, they will remain perpendicular. I can also click on the constraint, delete it, and now they no longer remain perpendicular. And as I said, if I want to constrain the dimension, I go to this button, I press it, the dimension button, I click on the line, and then I can fully constrain its dimension. So I made it 50. Okay. Any questions? Understood? Good. The constraints make it easy to design because you don't have to constantly change stuff. Yeah, it makes it way easier to design. Like let's say during the design process, I realize my bracket is too short. So now it's 50. I can just come here. I can make it 200. Yeah, now it's way bigger. I can easily change the dimensions and change the shape of the thing I'm designing. For things like angles and stuff. So I think the default is radians, but I'm going to show you how to change it to degrees later. Nice phone case. Okay. So now I'd like all of you to. I hope you guys are playing this on a second device, so that your laptop is free to use on the demo. Where's the constraint options? So you have the constraint options up here, but you can also, the software does automatic constraints. So if you move parts on top of each other, if you move them physically, it applies the constraint automatically. So this constraint was applied. Or I could click on the two parts, and then I could come here, and then I could pick which constraint I want. So if I want both of these to be horizontal, so now they were all made horizontal. The stream won't load. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. How do I move a sketch without redoing it? You click and drag. But we'll get into the practical part later. The stream died. Is everyone's stream good? Okay. So now I'd like all of you to get on to open Onshape, cad.onshape.com. I hope you guys have made accounts. Can I summarize the constraints thing? Okay, in the modeling part, I'll explain it deeper. Don't worry about it. But right now, just get into Onshape, cad.onshape.com. I hope you guys have made account. Okay. Don't worry, we have time. I'll be waiting. How do I merge parts? You mean create an assembly or merge bodies? How do I make this one thing instead of many things? Yes, I am in Union. Why did you model it as 3 parts? Is this assembly window? How to change the units? Don't worry, don't worry. We'll go through that. Is everyone good? Is everyone on shape? I don't know why it's showing up as many parts. Because in your feature tree, it looks like the actions that you made. There's no like cut. You didn't cut anything. You didn't cut any bodies. So I'm not sure. You're not able to sign up. Why? What's the issue? Some settings. Okay, is everyone in this? Does everyone see the screen that I'm seeing? CAD.onshape.com. Does anyone see the screen? Is everyone here? Okay, is everyone here? Like open up Onshape, CAD.onshape.com. Everyone's here? Okay, good. Okay, so click on your account on the top right. Click on your account. Click my account. Okay, go to preferences. Is everyone at preferences? I don't want anyone to be lost. Okay, so in preferences, I'd like you just to change a few settings. So we're all using the same settings. Okay. Go down. In units, change this to millimeter. It should be inches by default. So just change it to millimeter. Okay. And change the angle default to degree. I think default is radian. And then once you've changed these two, click Save Changes. Make sure to save the changes. Okay. And then for the mouse controls, it should be Onshape default. Which units? Change it to mm. Here, change it to millimeter. and here change it to degree. Only these two, only these two. The rest don't matter so much. Millimeter, degree, and then save the changes. So now right here, I'd like you guys to change it from Onshape default to SolidWorks. Okay? Make this SolidWorks in mouse controls. And then save mouse controls. Make sure to save the controls. So we're all using the same controls. Done? Is everyone done? Done? Okay. Should I have a mouse for this? You should have a mouse for this. Do you have a mouse available? Because it will be tough using a trackpad. And I haven't used a trackpad before, so I can't guide you on that. Okay. So top left, it's going to be hard for you to follow along. Okay, top left, press on Onshape, the Onshape logo. Okay, so after clicking on the Onshape logo, we'd want to create a new folder because it's always good to organize your stuff. So create a folder, call it, I don't know, like IGCSE Workshop June 2026, something like that. You can call it whatever you want. So create a folder. So once you have a folder created, you'd want to create an Onshape document. Okay, so go to create a document. You can call it whatever you want, just something that helps you know what's in the file. So create the document. You can call it part 1. You can call it whatever you want. So once you create the document, the Onshape document, you should get into the screen where you can start modeling. Okay, has everyone created the file? Okay, nice. Done. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna import the drawing that we'll be doing today. So today we'll be making what's this? FreeCAD? No, this is Onshape. So we will be making this part today. Okay. So this is usually drawings will this is called a CAD drawing. It's a drawing of a CAD part. So as you can see, it looks like a bracket of some sort. It has 4 holes. It has this blade coming out of the center. It has a hole going through it. Okay, so we will be making this part today. So in the drawing, you have all the dimensions you need. So R means radius. The circle with a dash going through it is the diameter. This stands for diameter, and R means radius. Okay. So as you can see, we have all the dimensions to make this part, and now we will be modeling it. Okay, so this is the window that you will be modeling it on. So I'd like you guys to get comfortable with the window, because if you get stuck, there's no one to help you, okay? So if you're comfortable with the controls, if you get stuck, you'll be able to get out of the issue. So middle mouse click is to rotate around the window. So I'd like you all to get comfortable with the controls. Just use your middle mouse click, move it around. So this is to rotate, okay? And control plus middle mouse is to pan. Control plus middle mouse. So you hold them together and you move your mouse around, and this is to pan around. You can also middle mouse click the cube over here. It's at the top, it's usually at the top right of your screen. So as you can see, you have different areas of the graphics window. So you have the top, you can click on top, it shows you the top. So this is called the origin. The middle of your graphics area is called the origin. You have the top plane, the front plane, and the right plane. So once you've selected something, like look, I've selected 3 things. To deselect them, you just click on an empty spot. So if I have anything selected and I want to deselect it, you click at an empty spot and then things will be deselected. Because some actions can only be made with your pointer. So get comfortable with that. So you have these planes in your window, top, front, and right. You have this cube right here, middle mouse to rotate around, middle mouse plus control to pan around. So just move around, get comfortable, okay? Can I summarize quickly? So we just created a document. There's a create button right there if you're in cad.onshape.com. So just create the document and you should get into a screen like us. Okay. How are you guys finding the controls? Are you guys able to move around in the graphics window? They're intuitive? Okay, good. Yes? Yes, pretty good. Because this is the most important part, because if you get stuck and you're not comfortable with how to get out, I can't help you again. Okay, so the controls are, so you scroll wheel to zoom in and out, middle button to rotate around something. So you'll be rotating around the point, hold middle mouse, and then move it around. SolidWorks mouse is a bit weird. It's the industry standard, so Onshape is free. So you don't need a school license. Control plus middle mouse to pan around. So those are the controls. And as I said, there's a cube up here. You can click back, top to like be normal to those planes, bottom, back. You can also click on the corners of the cube. So this is called an isometric view. You could click on the corners to be like isometric to the planes. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we got to do is to think about how we'll approach designing this part. So I'm seeing that the biggest feature is this base plate. So I'd like to start modeling the base plate, right? So as I can see, the base plate is 300 mm by 175. So it's 175 mm in height and 300 mm. So I'm going to go to the part studio, and the best plane to do this on is going to be the top plane, because I want my part facing up. So this is the top plane. So to start sketching, how do you see how much mm it was? Right here. So these are the dimensions. So this base plate is 300 mm by 175. So now we'd like to create a sketch. We'd like to create a sketch so we can start sketching the base plate. Okay. So I'm going to choose the top plane. So to create a sketch, there's many different ways. There's this sketch button right here where you press sketch and then you choose the plane. It tells you select a sketch plane. So you can either select top, right, or left. So now we're in a sketch. So to know you're inside a sketch, you will have this window come up. It says sketch 1, and then there's this button, there's this button. Don't click anything right now, but this is how you know you're inside a sketch. All right? So to exit the sketch, you press this if you're happy with what you've made inside the sketch, or you can just like cancel everything and press this. Another way to create a sketch is that you right-click the plane and then you press New Sketch. That's another way to create a sketch. So as long as this window is up, you are inside the sketch, okay? Let's say you accidentally got out of the sketch. So you press this and then now you're out of the sketch. You wanna go back into the sketch. So this in the feature tree, this is called the feature tree. There's your sketch is right there. You right click, edit. That's how you get back into the sketch. Okay. How do I see the dimensions? Okay, so this is the image I pulled up. You guys won't have this image, but just follow along. So this is an image that I'm following. Okay. It won't show up for you guys. I just opened it by myself. So now we are in a sketch. Okay. So just get comfortable with like exiting the sketch and then getting into the sketch again. If this window is open, that means you're inside a sketch. Okay, so this is our sketch. It says sketch 1. This is our sketch. The sketch is on the top plane. So to sketch comfortably, I'd want to be normal to the sketch so I can see everything clearly. So I can do a couple of different things to get there. I can right click the plane and then click view normal to. So now I'm normal to the top plane. I'm viewing the sketch normal. Or I could go up here and I could press top. And the top will have me also normal to the plane. Okay. So now we're normal to the top plane and we're inside a sketch. Make sure you created a sketch on the top plane. So let me just repeat real quick. So you could press sketch and then press top from here, or just click it on the graphics window top, and then you're inside a sketch. So you want to be on a sketch on the top plane, okay? So this is sketch number 1. Okay. View normal to. Okay. So now, if you guys want, I can do that everything again after when I'm done modeling this part. We can do everything again for everyone who's lost. Okay, so I see this base plate. It's 300 by 175. So I'd like to start sketching it. So here are your tools. You have a line tool, you have a rectangle tool, you have a circle tool, and you have an arc tool. You have a polygon tool. You have all of these tools. So the base plate, your sketch area looks way bigger than the area of the top plane. How did you do that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The software thinks of it as infinite in area. So if it's bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. That's just a graphics thing, like how big your window is. It doesn't matter. So it's a rectangle. And to make my work easier, I'd want to make the rectangle center with the origin. Because as you can see, this red thing is the origin, and the rectangle starts from the origin. So I'm going to take the center rectangle tool. So I'm going to click this arrow, and I'm going to click the center rectangle tool. So now, when I've clicked the center rectangle tool, it's going to highlight it on the top. What's it called? Right here. So it's going to be highlighted right here. So if I want to get out of the corner rectangle, I'm going to press escape. So once I press escape, it's no longer highlighted and I'm out of the tool. So once I'm done drawing the rectangle, I'd want to get out of it, because if you're still in the corner rectangle tool, you won't be able to use your pointer. So I'm going to click this, click center point rectangle. Once it's highlighted, I go to the origin. I make sure I'm on the origin where this coincident constraint shows up, this square with the 2 lines. So once it shows up, I start drawing my rectangle, okay? So once I draw it, I can just click anywhere, and now I've drawn the base. So this is the base, right? So has everyone drawn the rectangle? The dimensions don't matter right now. We'll dimension it later. Has everyone drawn the rectangle? Is anyone lost? I'm sorry, Ahmed. We're quite deep into the session. I can't go back. You've drawn the rectangle. Okay, can I do it again? Okay. So I'm just going to click on it, delete it, click on the rectangle. delete it. Okay. So as I said, first thing you want to do is to create a sketch, press sketch, and click on the top plane. You can click it right here or right here. So click on the top plane. So once you're inside the sketch, this window shows up. You're going to come here. You're going to click here top. So you're normal to the window. You're going to come here, center point rectangle, highlight the center, and then just draw a rectangle. So after drawing the rectangle, now we want to dimension it. So it's 300 by 175. So I'm going to click escape if the rectangle tool is still highlighted. I'm going to click escape, and then I'm going to go to the dimension tool. So click on the dimension tool, make sure the dimension tool is highlighted, and then come right here, click on this edge, and then draw the dimension. So as I said, it was 300. So write 300, and then enter, okay? Click F so it comes back into your window, or you can scroll in and out. Center point rectangle is right here. So now I've dimensioned one part of it. You do not get the dimension. You come up here. Okay, let me just delete the dimension. You come up here, you select dimension, and then you come to the side. So you see this line right here, click on the line. Don't click on the edge, click on the line. And then take it down. You can put it wherever, and then write 300. 300, click the check mark or press enter. For some reason, I don't have those options. I'm not sure why you don't have those options. Can you send me a screenshot of your screen? Oh, yeah, you can search for it. Yeah, you can search for it. You can search here. Who's having issues with the dimension? So if you have an issue, just press escape. Make sure you're not selecting anything. Press whatever you've made that was wrong, delete it, okay? And then come to the dimension tool again. Make sure it's selected. And then draw the dimension. Click on the line, draw the dimension, and then check mark. Okay, and then right here, we're gonna do the other dimension. So click on the dimension tool again. If it's not selected, make sure it's selected. Click on this line, and then we're gonna make it 175. Okay, 175. So 300 by 175. Nice. Dimensions done. Good. Then having issues with the dimensions. So it matches the drawing. 300 by 175. Nice. Okay. Done. Good. Good job. Dimension not working. Just press escape. Make sure you're not selecting anything. Click on the dimension. This is the dimension tool. It's right here. Okay. You don't move your rectangle. You click on it, then you click on the line, and then you click down. Send me a screenshot if you're having issues. So once we have this done, we're going to press extrude. We're going to extrude the sketch. So right now the sketch is 2D. We want to make it 3D. So as we can see, this part, it's 10 millimeters thick. So we have the rectangle. We're going to extrude it 10 millimeters up. Okay. So in the sketch window, come up here to the extrude option, top left. Okay. So top left, we're gonna extrude it. Press extrude. So now I'd want you guys, after pressing extrude, to use your middle mouse to just rotate and to see what's happening. Okay? Just rotate around, look at what's happening. So we had this 2D sketch and now it's extruding. So the depth, make sure this is 10, 1, 0, 10. Okay? So we're gonna extrude the sketch 10 millimeters. What dimension did I put? So I put 300 for the length and 175 for the width. So make this 10. This is to determine the direction of the extrusion, right? So this is, right now it's extruding up, but we can also extrude it down. We can change the direction by clicking this arrow. So we'd want to extrude it up just for consistency's sake. Okay? And once you have it at 10 and it's up, we're going to finish the extrude. To change the dimension, okay, so to change the dimension, you can, I just edited the sketch, you can double click on the dimension and then you can change it right here. So if I put a wrong dimension to begin with, I can just double click on the dimension and then change it again. Nice, nice, nice. Nice one, Harpan. Done. Have you guys extruded it? Nice, done. Good job. Guys, if you're having issues, don't be afraid to ask. Which dimension did I extrude it again? Okay, so I can right click the extrude and then edit it to see. So it was, the depth was 10 mm. And then click the check mark to finish the extrusion. Okay, so now we have this base shape, right? So now let's start modeling the blade, this part. Did you use the blind? Yeah, I used blind. Blind means just you set it a distance and it extrudes that much. I used blind. Okay, so now let's start modeling this part. So the order of modeling things, it doesn't really matter too much, but you want to model the part as if you are manufacturing it. So first I extruded just a plate, and then now I'm going to extrude this part, and then we're going to make the holes, and then we're going to round the edges. So now to make this part, before I told you that you could sketch on planes. This time we're going to sketch on a face, on the top face of this part we extruded. So on this top face, we're going to create a new sketch. So to do that, I can right click and then new sketch. So right click the top of the part you extruded and then press new sketch. Another way to do it is I can exit the sketch right here. I can press sketch, and then to select the plane, I select the top of the part. So now I am in a sketch on the top of this part we extruded. The depth was 10. Are you guys on the new sketch? Your mic is not on. Okay. So now right here, we have the new sketch, and the sketch should be on the top of this part. If you made a mistake, don't worry. Just press X, come over here, sketch, and then just click on the thing again. If you've selected anything to deselect, just press Escape. Okay. So now I'd like to view this normal too, so I can sketch like comfortably. Right click, view normal too. Or I could press top right here. If I press top, it shows me the top of the part. Zoom out. Okay. And then right here, we see that this part is 10 mm, 10 mm thick, and it is 120 mm long, right? So we're going to sketch a rectangle that's 10 mm, 120 mm. So again, I'm going to use the center rectangle because I want to start from the origin. So I'm going to hover over the origin, and I'm going to draw the rectangle. Okay. So after I drew the rectangle, I'm gonna want to start to dimension it. So I go to the dimension tool, press the dimension tool, make sure it's selected. Okay, click on the side, come here, and then click 10. Press 10, type in 10. So now it's 10 mm thick. So if we go back to the drawing, it was 120 mm long. So same thing, go to the dimension tool again. If it's selected, you don't have to select it again. So select it, come right here. We're going to click on the edge, go out, and then now we're going to click 120. So now the dimensions are set for the blade part. Okay. So now once we have the blade part done, we're going to extrude it. So as we can see, from the bottom to the top, it's 75 mm. So what should it be from this plane to the top of it? It's going to be 75 minus 10, because this part is 10 mm thick. So we're going to extrude it 65 mm, right? So we're going to come here to the extrude command, press on the extrude command. Okay, so we see the part is extruding. So we're going to set the depth to 65. Is the stream good? Stream died? Okay. What about now? Is it good? Check the stream. Good, good. Okay, so I'm gonna explain the part again. Let me just edit sketch. Okay. So have you guys drawn this second rectangle and given it the dimensions of 10 and 120? The dimensions of the second rectangle, 20 and 10. Okay. 20 and 10. Are you guys following along? You guys good? Yep. Okay, 20 and 10, and then we're going to extrude it. So we're going to extrude it by 65. 65. Press enter. So now we have it like this, and then we're going to click the check mark to make the feature. Okay. So do you guys have this? Or are you guys stuck? Nope, I don't get it. Just give me some information on where you're having issues. How long is the workshop? It's just, we're going to finish this part soon, and then it's going to be over. And we're going to have some questions and answers. How do I extrude the second rectangle? Okay, so I'm going to delete everything I've just done. I'm going to go back. Okay, so first I created a new sketch. So let me just delete this. It's loading. 1 second. I'm going to go through this again real quick. Okay, so first I created a new sketch. Sketch on the top of this rectangle. Okay, so once I click the top, I enter the sketch. And then I click the top, so I'm viewing the part normal to the face. I go right here, center point rectangle. I go to the center, I hover over the center, right? I come right here, okay? I'm sorry, I can't help you. Okay, and then I draw the rectangle. And then I press escape, so I'm not selecting anything. I go to the dimension tool. I click this line, I dimension it to 120. And then I click this part, I dimension it to 10. So just 10. Okay. Yeah, it's 65. And then I go to extrude. I go to extrude, and then I type 65. 65. Middle mouse, so I can make sure that it's doing the right thing. it's extruding the right direction because we don't want to extrude down, we want to extrude up. And then we finish the feature by clicking the check mark. Yeah, in the announcement, we said that it would be better if you had two devices, one to view the stream and one to do the part. Done? Okay, good. Okay, now we'll start doing the holes, okay? We'll start making the holes. No, actually, because the holes are concentric to the curved parts, let's start making the rounded edges. The blade at the center is 65. So as you can see, it's 75 from the bottom to the top. So from here to here, it's going to be 65. Okay, so now we're going to start making the rounded corners. So there's this feature called a fillet, okay? Or a fillet. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So we're going to use the fillet to round every corner. So if you come to the part, we're going to see that each fillet is 20 mm in radius. So all of these are 20 mm in radius. But for these ones, for these fillets, the radius is 10. So we're going to go to the fillet feature. It's right here, fillet feature. If you don't have it, you can search for it. You can search fillet, okay? Click on it. And then it says, it gives us a radius option right here. So as we said, ours were 20. So press 20, enter, okay? And then we're going to start selecting the entities to fillet. So we're going to click this, okay? That's 1. Make sure to click this, okay? 2, 3, and 4. So if I selected something wrong, is stream gone? You guys still have the stream? Stream gone? Stream gone. Okay, let me just stop streaming and stream again. Okay, 1 second. Did you guys see it now? Okay, so I'm gonna go through the fillet parts again. Okay, so click on the fillet option, click on it. Okay, preparing the fillet. 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna put 20 right here. Okay, 20, and then we're gonna click on every edge. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's say you accidentally selected a part wrong. Let's say you selected this edge instead, right? So you're going to come right here and then click delete edge, and then delete, okay? And then you're going to reselect them again. So right here you can deselect the parts that you selected, okay? So once you've selected all 4 corners of the shape, we're going to click the check mark. So now all 4 corners are rounded. Okay? Is it clear? Were you guys able to make the corners rounded? Okay, so I can right click and edit the feature to see the radius was 20. The radius was 20. Okay, the radius was 20. I'm not sure what if you followed my instructions, they shouldn't be 2 parts. I'm not sure what you did. Maybe you didn't merge bodies or something. Because look, just 1 second. Okay, in the extrude, there's an option to merge with all. You probably had something selected or deselected when you shouldn't have had it selected, where the extrude didn't merge with the main thing. Okay, so now you have these 4 corners, and now we want to make these 2 rounded corners. So the radius is 10. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go to fillet. We're going to type 10 this time. 10, 1, 0. But we're going to select these 2 corners. These 2 corners. As I said, you can deselect right here, and you can select them again. So once we have these 2 corners selected, we're going to click the check mark. Okay, so now we have all corners rounded. So now once all corners are rounded, we're going to start drawing the holes. So each hole, the diameter is 20. So this circle with the line going through it means diameter. The R means radius. So now we're going to go on to the part. We're going to sketch on this plane so we can make the holes, okay? So we're either going to right click, new sketch, or we're going to go to here, sketch, and then we're going to click on this face, okay? So now I'm in a sketch on this face. Make sure you're inside the sketch. And I'm going to draw circles. So I'm going to show you two ways to draw the holes because we can take advantage of the geometry because it's all symmetric. So I'm going to draw one hole. So this circle will represent the hole. So we go back. The hole is 20 mm in diameter. So we're going to come to the dimension tool. Okay. After going to the dimension tool, sketch option again. Okay. So we're going to go sketch, and then we're going to click on this plane, the top of this. So click on it. So after pressing sketch on the top, we're going to draw a circle. So we're going to draw a circle. Press on the circle tool right here. Draw a circle. Doesn't matter where you draw it. Just draw it, okay? So after you draw it, press escape. So you stop selecting the circle tool. Go to the dimension tool right here. Put the dimension tool. If you don't have the dimension tool, you can search for it. Click on the outer edge of the circle. Don't click on the center. Click on the outer edge. Click on it. And then we're going to make this 20. So 2, 0. So now once it's 20, we can now constrain it to its correct position. So right now we've dimensionally constrained the radius, the diameter of the circle. It's going to stay at 20. So now what we're going to use is the concentric constraint. The concentric constraint, it makes the center of this circle line up with the center of any arc or circle. So we're going to click on the concentric constraint, right? So once it's selected, we're going to click on the outer edge of the circle, and we're going to click on this outer edge. So as you can see, if your show constraint options is on, it will show you that a concentric constraint was applied. So now if it's fully black, that means you did everything right. Okay. So now you have this circle drawn, and it's concentric with the edge, the rounded edge, and it's 20 mm in diameter. Okay, so now to put a circle at each corner, we can make use of the fact that this part is symmetric and we drew it at the center of the thing. We can use the mirror command. So with the mirror command, it tells you select a mirror line. When you first select the mirror command, it tells you to select a mirror line. So as we can see, this plane can be used as a mirror line because it's directly in the center of where we want to draw the second circle. So we can either click it right here or we can click it from over here. So click on the right plane, okay? Select entities to be mirrored. So we're going to select this circle, and then look, it's been mirrored to the other side. Is the stream good? Okay, I'm going to repeat the concentric process. It's going nicely. That's good. Is the stream good? You guys good? Still frozen? Okay. Is it still frozen? I'm moving. Surprisingly intuitive. That's good. It's working. Okay. So I'm going to repeat the concentric thing. Okay. So I'm going to delete the dimension. Click on it. Press delete. I'm going to delete it. You guys don't have to do that. So I'm going to click on the concentric constraint. Click on the edge of the circle and click on the rounded edge. So this makes it so that the center of this rounded edge lines up with the center of this circle. So once it's concentric, we're going to mirror it, okay? So to mirror, as I said, we're going to click on the mirror tool. Now we're going to mirror it again to these bottom two parts. So we select a mirror line. So this time I'm going to select the front plane. I select it here or here. So I'm going to select the front plane as the mirror line. And the entities to be mirrored, I'm going to select this. And then I'm also going to select this. Did you guys get the circles on all four corners? Were you guys able to do that? Yes? Good. Mirror, can you do again? So you click on mirror, and then it's going to tell you to select a mirror line. If you only have one circle right here and you don't have all these three, you're going to click this as the mirror line, because this can be used as a mirror line because it's in between where you want to draw the second circle. So I'm going to click this. Then we're going to click the entity to be mirrored, which will be the original circle that you drew. And it's going to mirror it on this side. And then to mirror it again, you click on the mirror tool again, and then you click on the front plane this time. Click on the front plane, and then you're going to click for entities, these two, to be mirrored. Okay? So now once we have all four circles drawn, we're going to extrude them. But be careful. So now this time, instead of adding, we're going to remove. For the plane sticking out, the fillets were 10. Your concentric thing is not working, send a screenshot. Okay. So, it's because your corners are not filleted. You should have filleted your corners before starting the sketch. You're not good. It's because you're creating a sketch on the first original sketch. You're going to create a new sketch. You're not going to edit the first sketch. Because right now, when you start editing the first sketch, it's going to take you all the way back as if you haven't done all the stuff that you have done until that point. Okay? So always create a new sketch. You want each feature to be on a new sketch. You don't want to create everything on one sketch, because then you have issues. You have issues when you create everything on one sketch. Every time we're going to create a new sketch, okay? Okay, so right now, I'm in extrude. So solid, remove. Before we were adding, we were extruding, like we were adding material. But this time, we're going to remove material to create the hole, as you can see. So after clicking on remove, we're going to make the end condition, the end type, up to next. Up to next means it goes up to the next face. So it's going to go from here, it's going to make the hole until the next face. Okay? So once your options are like mine, remove and up to next, you don't have which option? Up to next? Are you in extrude and remove? Yeah, if you did 10, it's fine. But doing up to next is good practice. Why? Because if you want to go back to the feature tree and edit something, like let's say you want to edit the thickness of this thing, if you keep it as 10, it's after you edit the thickness of this part, it's only going to go 10 inside. But up to next, make sure that no matter how much you edit the part, the hole will go all the way through the part. Like even if you edit the depth of the part later on. But 10 is fine. You're going to get the same result. Stream died. It died again. Oh no. Okay, I'll restart the stream. Okay, is the stream back? I'm sorry about that. Okay, it's back. Okay. You don't understand the point of up to, but it's okay. You can do blind and you can have it like as 10 or 20. Doesn't matter. Okay. So now we're going to finish the extrude command, and now we have these 4 holes. You guys have the 4 holes? Yes, good. I mirrored it, but it's off because you didn't make sure it's concentric. It doesn't look like it's concentric. So you have to make this edge. You have to make the edge concentric with the filleted edge. So click on the edge of the circle and make sure it's concentric with the filleted edge. You swear you did? It looks like you didn't. In the sketch window, there's going to be a thing that says show constraints. If you show constraints and the constraint is not there, you didn't. Okay. Okay, so now we have this part. You guys have the 4 holes. I hope you do. You made. I think, yeah, you have to delete both of the concentric constraints. Delete both of them and then do it again. Click on the edge of the circle and the edge of the fillet. Don't click on anything else. Okay, so now we have this last hole. So as you can see, the last hole, it's 55 mm from the bottom, and it's 25 in diameter. So now, should we start? Should we start on the last hole? Stream died. Did the stream die? True 3 is red color, and the holes are not showing when I click something else. If it's red, that means that you probably did something wrong. I'm not sure. Okay, the stream is good, I think. Stream died. Did the stream die? Is the stream good? If you made a mistake, just go back and redo everything again. Okay, it's good. Stream's good. Okay. So now to draw the last hole, we're going to right click on this part. Okay. We're going to right click on it, new sketch. Or we could press new sketch right here and then click on the face. So we're going to create a new sketch at this blade. Okay, now it died. I think there's a recording. They said that there will be a recording, but I'm not sure about that. They said that they will record it and post it on the official channel. But it's fine. Like now you know how to get into Onshape. You can follow any tutorial online to get used to it. Okay, you're going crazy. You probably, the first center rectangle, you probably didn't start it at the origin. You didn't start it at the origin. If you didn't start the original rectangle at the origin, it's going to be slightly off-centered. So we're going to, when you're using the planes to mirror it, it's going to be off. Okay. How do I mirror it again? Okay, let me go back. So now if we go back to this feature, as you can see, everything is right here. So just edit it. Okay. So right here, to mirror it, you're gonna click on mirror. Okay. Let me just delete everything 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna click on mirror and then select a mirror line. We're gonna click on this, the right plane, and then select entities. We're gonna click on the circle. Now we mirrored it. And now press escape, press the mirror command again. Mirror line, we're going to click on this plane now. And the entities, we're going to click on 1 and then 2. And now we have all 4 mirrored. Okay. So now we're going to create a sketch on this part. Right click, new sketch. So now once we have the sketch, this window should show up. We're going to draw a circle right here. Okay. So we could either have it automatically constrain it to the origin to be vertical from the origin by hovering over the origin and then going up slowly and then drawing the circle. Or you could just draw a circle anywhere and then come here to the vertical constraint, press on the center of the circle and the origin. So now it's vertical with the origin. Yeah, Volt, your sketch is blue, so it's not fully constrained. Okay. So now once you've drawn the circle and it's vertical with the origin, the center of the circle is vertical with the origin. If you put the constraint wrong, you can just click on it, delete, right? And then you can click on the center of the circle again. You can click on the vertical constraint, click on the center of the circle, the origin, and now it's vertical again, okay? And then now we're gonna make sure it's 55 mm from the bottom of the base plate. So we're gonna go back to the drawing, to the sketch. We're gonna go to the dimension tool. Okay, we're gonna click on the origin and then click on the center. So now our dimension comes up from the origin of our graphics window to the center of the circle. So we're gonna type 55. How to make it center? You click on the center, you click on the vertical constraint. We're gonna click on the center of this circle and on the origin, and then it centers it with the part. Okay, so now once it's 55, we're gonna come here. The radius of this, the diameter is 25. So we're gonna again go to the dimension tool, click on the edge of the circle. Yeah, only the center. Yeah, exactly. Only the center turns black because you've only constrained the center, right? So now we're gonna click on the edge to dimensionally constrain the circle. We're gonna type 25. So now it's 25. Now everything is black. Everything is fully constrained. Have you guys got this? Yes, good. Got it. Nice. Nice. Good job. This is going to be the last thing we're doing. And then we'll have the part ready. Multiple people are typing. It's center. It is center, but up. Okay, just make sure that you have this dimension. Dimension, and then center of the circle and the origin, make sure it's 55. Yes, extrude next. Exactly. Extrude, remove. Exactly. So we're going to extrude, remove, and then up to next. Yeah, no worries, no worries. You can go on YouTube, you can follow any tutorial, you can get better at it. If it's necessary, could you also add screw grooves? You can add screw grooves. But usually with 3D printing, right? The 3D printer, it doesn't have enough precision to make screw grooves. Like your screw grooves won't be as good. So usually you'd use things called threaded inserts, which are metallic pieces that you melt into the plastic so that you can screw something in. That's a way better method. Okay. But like this part is like a part that you put a screw in and you put a nut and a bolt and then tighten it from both sides. It's not a part which has a screw holes. Okay, so once you extrude it, I got up to here so far at the end. Could you please repeat the extruding of the circle on the rectangle that's sticking out? Okay, so I'm gonna, after extruding it, you're gonna have this. So I'm gonna repeat that part, okay? So first, none of the entities could be deleted. Okay, so first you're gonna go to sketch. After going to sketch, you're gonna click on this side of the rectangle. The rectangle stream died. Visible now. Okay, so you're gonna go to sketch. Harpan, you're gonna go to sketch. Then you're gonna click on the side of this rectangle that's sticking out. After clicking on it, you're gonna be in the sketch. And then you're gonna draw the circle, okay? So the circle should look like this. The center, you click on vertical constraint. You click on the center of the circle, and then you click on the origin, so it's vertical with the origin. And then you dimension the center of the circle with the origin to be 55. And then the edge of the circle, the circle, you click on the edge, and then you type 25. And then you extrude it. Extrude, remove. Nice, nice. Can you send me a screenshot? Whoever's finished, can you guys send me a screenshot? I want to see what you guys made. Buy 3D printers. So you could either make it an STL or a step. Step is slightly better. So export it as a step, export it, and then it's going to download it. It's going to download the part. So now you have the parts downloaded, and now you can use this file to 3D print the part. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, you might have a 3D printing service in your country. Just Google 3D printing services, and there's companies that 3D print, and they can send the part to your home. How do I export again? Right-click parts, in parts, right-click. Good job, Harpan. It doesn't let you, you can't move it down. You might just, you can't move it down. It's okay. You know, Volt, instead of using the planes to mirror, nice, good job. Very nice. But you forgot to fillet these two corners, but that's fine. Volt, instead of moving the thing, you can go, instead of mirroring with the planes, like the top, front, and right plane, you can draw construction lines from the center of each rectangle, and then use those construction lines as the mirror line. Yeah. But make sure the construction lines. The fillet of the extrude is 10. Do you guys have any questions? You guys can send me the image by you can DM me the message on Discord. Could you do the extrude part for the circle? Okay, I'll do it again. So I'm going to roll back. This just to move back. So now right here, when you have this. Okay, no worries. Okay. So the circle part, you're gonna have something like this, right? So you're gonna go to sketch, and then after sketch, you're gonna click on this part. Make sure to click on this part. So now once you're sketching right here, we're gonna draw a circle. Okay, draw a circle, and then click on the vertical constraint. Click on the center of the circle and the origin. So now the circle is vertical with the origin. Now click on the dimension tool, click on the center of the circle, click on the origin, and then make sure it's 55. And then we're going to dimension the circle itself. We'll make sure the circle is 25 mm. So once you have this sketch, we're going to go to extrude, remove material. We're going to remove some material, and then we're going to have it be up to next. Then once it's up to next, we can finish the feature. If you guys can send me the parts that you made by DM, it should be really nice. Really nice to see what you guys have made. If you guys weren't able to make it, don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's not that easy, especially like using the software for the first time. Extrude up to what? I was just re-explaining what we did right before. Up to next. Up to next. I gave up and tried to make cheese. No worries. As long as you tried. Okay, so I'm gonna send you guys some resources that you can use to learn. So there's the Onshape Learning Center. Okay, you can use this to learn. There's many YouTube tutorials. Just Google YouTube Onshape tutorials or Fusion tutorials if you want to use a different software like Fusion 360. There's also this website which has a lot of practice problems that you can try and model at home. There's a lot of practice problems. Right? You guys have any questions? Like any general questions? It doesn't have to be about the part. Very insightful. I'm happy you liked it. Thank you. Which file type is best to export it to? Okay, so in Onshape, you're going to have everything saved on the cloud. So you're going to have your part saved, so you can enter and edit it at any time. So as you can see, my part is right here. But as for which file type is best, it's going to depend on what application you're going to use the file for. So if you want to 3D print it, as I said, you're going to export it and then save it as an STL or a step. Step or STL. These two file formats, you can use them in 3D printing. You can put them into a slicer. Or you can send it to a 3D printing service who can 3D print it for you and send it to you. Are there any AutoCAD courses I can do as a high school student certified courses for AutoCAD? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But there's many tutorials on YouTube. Like YouTube is really good with tutorials. So just go on YouTube. So what I'd recommend is if you want to learn in school, so you don't get bored, is have an end goal, which is going to be like a project that you do. So the project could be that you draw your house in AutoCAD, like draw the exact layout of your house. So you're going to go on YouTube, you're going to watch some tutorials, you're going to follow them. But any certified courses, you're going to have to search if there's any certified courses. But make sure, like, don't pay for courses. Like most courses are scams, so be careful before paying for a course. Is Dassault like aviation company or something? It's a huge company. It has a lot of different. They're into a lot of different things. I'm not sure if it's the same one as the Dassault in aviation, but yeah. So they're the ones that made SolidWorks, and SolidWorks is my primary software that I use. But if you get used to one type of software, as you can see, you can get used to any type of software because they're all very similar. Is Blender good? Blender is not for engineering. Blender is just for 3D modeling. It's like art, you know. Blender is not. It's not parametric. You don't have all these dimensions. You don't have all of these engineering capabilities. You don't have simulation in Blender. You can't simulate like you can't do CFD, computational fluid dynamics. You can't check like the stress on a part. Do I recommend any channels? Could I share the PPT? Okay, I'm gonna share the PPT. Any channels that I recommend? For just for Onshape, I'm not very sure. Just search Onshape tutorials, and anything that has a lot of views should be pretty good. But I can't recommend anything for Onshape because I don't use Onshape as my primary software. Can we simulate in Onshape? Yes, you can. You can simulate in Onshape. Onshape is actually a really powerful platform. If you get good at Onshape, it should like suit most of your needs. As proof for uni. So unis, I'm not sure if you can check if there's official. So the company that owns AutoCAD is called Autodesk. If they have official certificates, you could go for those. Anything official should be good. And for uni, they'd be more impressed with projects. So if you work on personal projects, if it has an online course, that's good. If you work on personal project, that would be way more impressive to. Uh, what software do you use? I use SolidWorks. There's the PowerPoint if you guys want it. No problem. Thank you for coming. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, how do you model complex shapes like impellers, propellers? Okay, so usually with propellers, right? So now propellers, usually if you have a project that you're making, like let's say one of my projects that I'm making is a UAV, right? So I'm going to show you just some pictures of it. So this is one of the projects I'm working on, right? So with a propeller, you'd wanna like buy a propeller off the shelf from a company, right? So once you buy the propeller, you're gonna ask the company for the STL file, like the file that's the propeller shape, if you wanna use it in your model. But to model a propeller yourself, there's like more complex commands other than extrude, which are like loft. There's like there's like you can create a helix, and then like you can have a sweep path, and all of those are complex modeling features, right? So to model a propeller, you're going to need more complex tools. You're not going to just extrude and like make holes like what we did. Just make sure, like, learn, create projects. That's the best way to learn, is to create projects. If you have something to work on, you shouldn't get bored. Okay, if you guys have no more questions, we can end the session. For that, I need someone to teach me. YouTube videos are good, but when you get stuck, that's when you need someone who can, in fact, respond. Okay, so if you get stuck, usually there'll be an error that will pop up. Just search on YouTube or on Google, and you can find how to solve that error. So if I don't pursue engineering, will this come in any use? I know some people who have a 3D printer, and like whenever they're missing something in their house or they want to make like something cool, they like design something on CAD and they print it, like let's say a clothes hanger or something like that. So other than that, I don't think it will be of any use if you don't pursue engineering, but it's good to, How to export this? Right click on the part, Click export. Yeah, many people make board games, they make bookshelf. Exactly. Yeah, everything can be 3D printed. PCM. What's PCM? Physics, chemistry. Okay. Yeah, you'll probably end up doing engineering. Okay, asking people. Okay, if you have no more questions, the session is over. Good job. How do you download it? You export, right click, export. But it will be saved on your Onshape account. Onshape is cloud-based. So you will find it in your Onshape. When you enter Onshape again, you will find the thing that you made. So right click, export, and then choose which format to save the file in. As I said, if you want to 3D print it and you don't have a 3D printer, just Google 3D printing services around me, and you might find a company that 3D prints, and then they can send you the product. Or you could like go to a uni and then ask them to 3D print it for you, a uni lab. Thank you guys for coming. I think my college had one, but I left it recently. Okay. I mean, if you know someone there, you can like send them an email. You can ask them, can I use the 3D printer? If you bring your own filament, I don't think they should find any issue with that. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Is it possible to do a simulation? Yeah, Onshape as a student, you can do anything on it. I'm pretty sure you can use all the features that it has. But there's other softwares which are more specialized for simulations, like ANSYS. ANSYS has a lot of softwares like Fluent. And any idea when they will be uploading the recording? I don't even know if it's recorded. They told me it will be recorded, but I'm not sure how they recorded it. I'm not sure how they recorded it because none of the mods are in the channel. Yeah, so it might not be recorded, but you can find way better tutorials than what I taught you on YouTube. This is just an entry point. It's just to get you guys an idea of how to get into this stuff. Okay, bye-bye. No more questions? Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the workshop. If you haven't sent me the image of what you created, please do. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you guys for asking questions. Okay, bye-bye. See you guys.